prepared based upon the Sustainable Development Goal 4, which we have to create inclusive education. Our discussion of this paper is about the how we can create inclusive learning platform for the primary education. This research is focused based upon the one of the private institution which is providing the inclusive education for even disabled students in Chennai. This is the focus of that one. Based upon that, we are going to discuss what we have to do at present to create a new method of inclusive education in India. The study of this research has been titled as Isolation to Inclusive Learning in Primary Education. It is the case study, and this is Baba Gnanakumar from School of Management, Kristu Jayanti College, presenting the report. And the agenda for this report is first the motivation, why this research has been done, what is the exact problem, then what is the aim of the research, what is the methodology beyond that one. Then we are going to discuss a few seconds about the inclusive education, then the analysis, findings, finally the wrap-up note. And you can see the motivation of the research. It starts from the report generated by the UNICEF. In case of UNICEF, they prepared a report just 6 months back and submitted, in which it clearly quotes that there is still we are behind in education, especially in case of inclusive education, that too during the period of COVID. That is the situation at present according to the UNICEF report. Another report which has been prepared by the edutech companies, they mentioned that there is still 75% of the disabled students, they are unable to see the school. They are still in home. Another research mentioned that even we are unable to use the digital technologies for that one. Still, we are using the digital technology for the regular stream of students, but we are unable to use the digital technology for the purpose of the other category of students, that is especially disabled persons. In one of the news magazine, that is Business Line, quote that even the Asian Development Bank provided around 500 million loan to improve the quality of the schools, which includes 25% should goes to inclusive education system in India. That's what the ADB quotes about that one. And even in case of our union government, that is Union Budget 2022 and 23, clearly supports the inclusive education, and which is said to be the recovery for school education. That is what it mentioned nicely about the inclusive education. The problem you can see here, in one part they mentioned that education in India is not exclusive, which is even mentioned by the Supreme Court judge. In another hand, there is one report from the government of India which mentioned that most of the schools in India are disabled friendly. So there is a controversy between the both one. One is from the government sector, another one is from the same government sector. One of the Supreme Court judge mentioned about that one. That is the main issue of this research work. Why there is a controversy? What is the present situation of us? So we wish to enter into the scenario. And we identified some of the knowledge gap based upon the previous research. One research in 2005 quoted that we have to create a broader education system and it should be acceptable by all the society in the education sector. Another research quote that we are not having sufficient classroom infrastructure for this inclusive learning. Another research mentioned clearly that there is need for contextual understanding of practice among the teaching faculty. Interesting research conducted in the part of Tamil Nadu, which mentioned that even the female teachers appear to be hold more positive trends in case of the inclusive education. That is another interesting fact. We must understand that one also. Then another group of research mentioned that we are facing the negative self-perception of children, especially with the disabilities. And this disability have affected the education of the students because of the socio-cultural nature. Finally, another research conducted mentioned that teachers must join hands with the local peers to complete the research work. That is what the previous research people identified about the knowledge gap in this research. So, based upon that one, this present research aims to identify two things. What is the policy we need? What is the policy a school should follow? What are all the policies we have to consider for the primary school management system? Methodology comprises of the sample size of 327. We use the snowball sampling. Of course, the data have been collected by the students of School of Management in Christ Jayanti College, but the target is towards the Chennai. And of course, we targeted around 500, but 411 good respondents came. Out of that, we conducted the reliability test and conclude that only 327 samples are up to the mark. So that is the concept of the snowball sampling, what we used. The respondents are from the primary school teachers, and which is indirectly or directly run over by the care therapy center. Some of the schools have joined hands with the KTC, that is Care Therapy Center in Chennai, and our students done a nice research among the teachers. The psychology students of the Christ Jayanti College clearly identified what are all the tools we can use to create a therapy for the primary school education system. The research work has been done and most of the questionnaires are collected by the students from the School of Management. We use the factor component analysis to find out what are all the intangible benefits we need for the primary schools. So coming to the core part, what is going on at present? When the students started the research work in Chennai, we identified 29 schemes are moving in Chennai, which is directed towards the school. Recently, the government of Tamil Nadu introduced two schemes. One is called non-Mudalvan scheme, that is the I am the lead scheme. Another one is Illam Thedi Kelvi, which means that educations are coming to the doorsteps. And each schemes are having a very good funding. In case of first schemes, I am the lead scheme, and they are going to train around 10 lakh youth people. Out of that, 2,50,000 people are going to be the disabled persons according to them. Then another scheme, Illam Thedi Kalvi, that is the education will come to the doorsteps, and they identified around 1.8 lakh volunteers. Still it is in incubation stage. And according to that one, even they are going to plan with the help of educating the primary school kids, those who are not coming to the school. That is how they have planned that one. So when we identify the database for the students, you can see that one totally around 2,39,000 plus students. They are coming under the disabled group. And of course, the age group of 19, we identified and boys are more than the girls. But we came to know that most of the girls who are disabled, they are not bringing the notice to the school education also. Even though the government spent around 250 crores and the government identified around 9,538 people. These people are benefited. Government organized 84 camps for these people. These are all the statistics mentioned by the 2011, but the camps are organized after that one. So what this care therapy center is doing, and this care therapy center is run by one of the psychologists, and they are having a nice psychology team to go through everything. And according to the care therapy center, they started the child development vocabulary, that is how to spell the words, what are all the words. Even they are giving training for the cooking. The toys are changed according to the learning aids, and they are making that one enjoyable. And even the children can help each other with the obstacle course activity, which is planned for the disabled students. And they also implement the physical education learning program. With the help of physical education fun learning system, they introduce that one. Another nice point is they are having the cognitive behavioral program to teach these people. Around 208 psychologists are involving in that one. With the help of the Bangalore Speech Center, they introduce the speech language program there also. Physical therapy interventions are done. Most of the activities are based upon the physiotherapy, then occupational therapy, resource rooms are created. The activities include even the poetry writing, drama, and you can see very important thing is even the regular stream students are joining with these people to teach that one, because if they are having the nature of students in the same age group, they are able to adjust. That is what the psychologists are doing, and they did that work nicely, and they are involving the mainstream students along with that one. Even they are using the technology part for that one. So next thing, we did the factor component analysis. We collected the data based upon this faculty. We identified what are all the measures we have to take to improve the inclusive learning system in India. And we identified around 18 variables, but when it comes to the questionnaire, around 15 variables are identified, remaining 3 has been rejected. Once again, when we started the factor loading system, another 3 variables are eliminated. And based upon this factor component analysis, what we identified, first one, we need a bonding relationship with these people, and the curriculum has to be changed according to that one. How we can create a bonding relationship. Here is an example how even the same classmates who are coming under the mainstream of education, they are joining hands with that one. We can't differentiate these people with other people. That is their expectation among that one. Second one, the contextual learning facilities has been given. And in future, the other schools also implement that contextual learning facilities for these people. How to identify the traditional concept, how we can use the education. Contextual learning is used in 4 schools which are said to be highly successive in Chennai. And the government is also providing the incentives to these people. And now it is moving in a nice direction. We can have this type of system in other schools also. So here, we have to set up secured infrastructure for these people. Another nice initiative we needed. Already we are having a good infrastructure, but how we can make that one in a secured manner? And they have to feel that the infrastructure belongs to them. That is their opinion. They are thinking like that. We need our own facilities. That is the concept of these people, how these people are psychologically affected. We have to make them to adjust according with that situation. Finally, the therapy services are very essential. And this, even though we are having the digital learning system, all these inclusive learning system has been given by the digital method, but the therapy is missing in some of the cases. So we have to train the teachers in psychology of giving therapy for that one. These measures we have to take to achieve the inclusive learning system. That is the core thing we wish to impress and mention here. That is why we need a measurable models which the care therapy center nicely created. That is, whatever the qualitative data we are able to convert into quantitative manner, then only we are able to measure what is the level of the students. Definitely this will increase in the proportion of the children with disabilities, especially entering into the mainstream. And mainstream as well as these type of stream will go in the simultaneously. However, there may be a separate classroom, but at least for 1 hour per day, these students should be trained with the other sector. Okay. So as a conclusion, the achieving SDG goal of United Nations is not a myth. It is definitely a reality one. However, we need PPP model for that one. That is public-private partnership model to achieve the SDG goal in India. So we conclude clearly that there is need for a change, and we are having the resources. These resources should be utilized nicely to achieve the goal of SDG 4. With this, I conclude my speech. Thank you. Thank you, dear participants, and thank you, the chairperson. And very important thing, I thank my own students for the nice research work, especially data collection for this case study. I hope this is beneficial to you.